Okay, in this live programming module, the aim of the program is to find out if a given number is a palindrome or not. Now, what does the word palindrome mean? It simply means that it's the same number whether you read it from left to right or from right to left. So, for example, the number 131 is a palindrome because whether you read it from right to left or left to right, it's going to be 131. Similarly, 444 is a palindrome. 898 is a palindrome because it's the same way front way and from reverse. Alright, but the number, for example, 877 is not a palindrome because its reverse is not the same as the original number. Alright, so fairly simple. We are given a number and we need to find out if it is a palindrome or not. Now, one way to do it is to convert the number to a string and then do string manipulation to find out if the number and its reverse is the same and whether it's a palindrome or not. However, we will not use that approach. We will use the mathematical approach to find out if the number and its reverse, if they are same, to say whether it's a palindrome or not. The reason being the mathematical process is a little more involved and it will help us build logic. Alright, so we have a number. So our aim is to be able to reverse a number of any number of digits. So if you want to reverse 1, you should be able to do that. Your code should be able to reverse a double digit number, a number with 3 digits, a number with 4 digits. Given any number, your program needs to be able to reverse it. Because once you reverse it, then all you have to do is compare the original number with the reversed number, and then if they are the same, you know it's a palindrome. If they are not, it's not a palindrome. Alright, so essentially to find out if a given number is a palindrome or not, our aim in the program is to find the reverse of any given number. Alright, so how do we go about finding the reverse of any given number? Let's actually write the background, the structure of the code where we take input from the user and we do some computation and then reach the point where we can actually use our logic. Alright, so here is a problem statement. Now let me start writing the class. I'm going to call it class palindrome demo. Before we begin any program, we should always know what is the input, what is the output, and what is the expected process that we need to do. Alright, so in this case, the input is the number given from the user. The output is to print a message whether this number is a palindrome or not. And in our process, what we are going to do is find the reverse of the given number, compare it with the original, and find out if it's a palindrome or not. Alright, so let's start with step 1, which is getting the input. Let me save this program as palindrome demo.java. Okay, so as you see, the colorization appears. Okay, now I'm going to write my main method, and within my main method, my first step is to get input from the user, which we will do using the scanner class. So scanner s is equal to new scanner system.in. If you write 3 programs, you probably know this by heart. Scanner is, you need to import scanner. So import java.util. It's in the util package. You can either import java.util.star or java.util.justscanner. So let's just do just scanner. Alright, so I've imported scanner and I have made an object of the scanner class which is called s, and I'll use it to get input from the user. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is ask the user for the number, which we will check for its palindromeness. Alright, so I'm just gonna say enter a number. Alright, and I'm gonna store it in an integer called num. So I'm gonna write int num is equal to s.nextInt. This is fairly simple. It has only taken the input so far. Alright, so just to check if I've gotten the code right so far, I'll just write the number you entered is okay, fairly simple. Just accepted input from the user, stored it in a variable called num, and now displaying it. just to make sure that my code is right, and I'm going to periodically compile it. Alright, so here is my C prompt. It's a fake one because Mac really doesn't have a C prompt. Let me Java C palindrome demo.java. Okay, it's compiled. So let me run it. Okay, enter a number 431. The number you entered is 431. Alright, so far so good. I have accepted input from the user and stored it in a variable called num. Now my aim is to find the reverse of this number. So how do we go about doing that? Now, whenever we want to find the reverse of a number, let's say the number is 431. Okay, how do we actually find the reverse? One way is to take the last digit, the digit in the units place, and append it in the beginning in the new number. Then take the second last digit, again append it here. Then take the third last digit, append it here. Continue doing it as long as there are digits in the original number. So what we do is, original numbers, we take the digit in the units place, remove it, shrink the original number. Again take the number in the units place, shrink the original number. Again take the number in the units place, shrink the original number. So our process is every time shrink the original number by removing the number or removing the digit in the units place, right? So how do we first of all get the digit in the units place? So if you have a number, if the user has entered a number, it's stored in num, and you want only the last digit of that number, how do you get it? You get the last digit by the operator modulo. Whenever you do modulo 10 to any number, you get the digit in the last place, because modulo 10 does what? It divides the number by 10 and it sees what the remainder is. Whenever you divide any number by 10, so for example, if you have the number 431, if you divide it by 10, the remainder you are going to get is 1, which is always the digit in the last place. Alright, so fairly simple trick. If you simply write int last digit is equal to num modulo 10, and then to check out, let's just do that last digit. What is the last digit that we get? Okay, so now I'm entering a number 538. The last digit is 8, because we've simply modulo 10 the number, so you get the number in the last digit. Alright, so this is step 1. We found the last digit. After you find the last digit, what do you want to do? You want to append it to our reversed number. Alright, so we want to append it to our reversed number, and you want to shrink the original number. You want to discard the last digit. So if you want to discard the last digit, the process is, or the trick is, to do divide by 10. So if I ever do num is equal to num by 10, what will it do? The original number you divide by 10. So if the original number was 431, it will divide 431 by 10. It will get 43.1. But remember, num is a variable of the type integer. So 0.1 decimal part is not stored. So when you do 431 upon 10, you get 43.1, but that 0.1 is discarded and you get only 43. So whenever you do a division by 10 on an integer variable in Java, you easily or you directly discard the last digit, right? So now if we say shrunk number is equal to num. So I have shrunk the number and I have, again. So now let's see what happens. Let me clear this up. Let me recompile it, and now let me run it. So enter the number. I'm going to enter 486. Alright. The last digit is 6 and 48 is my shrunk number. I have slipped off the last digit. I have only used the remaining digits. Alright, so remove the last digit. To remove the last digit, the simple trick is divide by 10. Alright, to remove the last digit, the trick is divide by 10. To shift a number to the left, the trick is the opposite. You have to multiply by 10. Alright, so now let's go ahead. So we've successfully removed the last digit. We've shrunk the number. Again, we want to remove the last digit, shrink the number. Remove the last digit, shrink the number. So we have to repeatedly doing the same task, which means we want to use a loop. Alright, so we'll probably use a loop. But before we use a loop, how are we going to append this removed digit to the reversed number? Let's look at that. Alright, so this last digit that we've removed, we want to append to the reversed number. Alright, so reversed number is going to be a new number, which is why let me create another variable called int reversed number. Alright, this is going to just store the reversed number. So first time reversed number is going to be what? First time it's going to be the last digit, right? Okay, so let me just number is last digit. Alright, so now if we run and compile it, it's asking me 61629 suppose, or 8, 6298. Okay, the last digit is 8, the shrunk number is 629, 8 is removed, so we get the remaining, which is 629, and it's at this stage the reversed number is only 8. Now what we want to do as a second step is take the last digit of the shrunk number 9 and append it to the reverse number. So my reverse number is going to be 89. We are going to remove digits one by one from the original number and append it to the reverse, right? So now the second stage, I want to remove 9 and append it to the reverse number. So it's very easy to remove 9. I'm again going to do a modulo 10 on my new num. My num has now reduced from 6298 to 629. Again, I will do a modulo 10, which will give me 9. But now I want to append 9 to the reverse number. So what I really want to do is the opposite of shrink, that is expand to left. So I want 8 to shift to left, that means to go to the 10th place. To make it go to the 10th place, you have to multiply it by 10 and add the new unit, right? So what I will probably do is what was originally the reversed number. So let's rewrite the formula for the reversed number. Reversed number is not always simply the last digit. Reversed number is what was the original reversed number, shift it to the left by 1 and add the last digit. To shift it to the left by 1, we want to shift to everything one time to the left, which is why you multiply by 10. So whatever is originally there in reverse number, you multiply it by 10. That means you add a 0 to the end of it. And now you add the last digit. So this essentially is the logic. And you keep doing this till what? You keep removing and appending, removing from the original and appending to the reverse till what? Till there is something left in the original. So you keep doing this until there is an original number or that number is greater than 0. The same way, another way to put the same thing. Alright. So all this I need to do inside a loop until the number exists. So I'm going to use a simple while loop. While number greater than 0. Everything out here is going to be a part of my while loop. Alright, and I'm going to indent it correctly. So, okay. So, until number is greater than 0, my last digit is going to be found out. Then I'm going to reduce the number by 10 and I'm going to insert it in the reversed number. Alright, and I just want to put all my declarations above. So I'm going to do int last digit and reverse number outside the while loop. So let me remove this declaration statements from here. Okay. So again, let's just go over it. First step, find the last digit and print it, shrink the number by removing the last digit by dividing by 10, shrunk number, and then append it to the reversed number by left shifting the reverse number by multiplying by 10 and adding the last digit. Alright, so now let's go ahead and see how it works. Hopefully it works. Let me compile it again. Okay, so I get an error which says variable reverse number might not have been initialized, because in reverse number I'm starting on the right hand side also with reverse number. So let's go ahead and initialize it to 0, because originally the reverse number is 0. Alright, now let's go ahead and compile it. Okay, it compiles. So now let's run it. No, I compile it again. Okay. Okay, so enter a number. Let me enter a 3-digit number to just see if it works. 724. Okay. So originally the last digit is 4, shrunk number is 72, and the reversed number is 4. Again it goes to the last row. Now this is the new number. So last digit is 2, shrunk number is 7, and reversed number is only 2. So something is wrong clearly with our code. Alright, so let me go and inspect. What could be wrong? Oh, in reverse, the code is not wrong. We are just printing the wrong thing in the reverse number instead of. So let me just show you what was originally there. This was originally there. So we are not printing the right thing in the reverse number. Instead of printing the reverse number, we are printing the last digit. It's a classic mistake. So let me change that to reverse number. Alright. Now let me go ahead and compile it. And now let me run it. Before that, actually, let me clean up the output by adding just a new line here. Okay. Okay. So enter the number. So I'm going to enter 749. Okay. So the last digit is 9. The shrunk number is 74, the last digit has been removed, and the reverse number is 9. Now the new number is going to be 74, the shrunk number. So the last digit is 4 and it shrinks only to 7, and 4 is appended to the original reverse. Okay. Again, the number is still greater than 0, so you again enter the while loop. The last digit is 7, the only digit present. Now you shrink it. When you do 7 upon 10, if the number is only 7, and when you do 7 upon 10, the remainder is 7, but the quotient is 0. So the newly shrunk number is 0 and reverse number is 947, and 0 is not greater than 0. So you don't have any value in number, you have 0. So it does not enter the while loop again. Alright, fairly simple. Remove the last digit, append it to the reverse number by shifting reverse number by 1 by multiplying by 10 and appending the last digit, and every time reduce the number by 10. Alright, so finally at the end of the while loop or outside the while loop, reversed number is the variable which has the reverse of the original number. Now what we want to do is compare the reverse number with the original number. If they are the same, then yes, it's a palindrome. If they are not, then we need to say it's not a palindrome. Alright, so to compare, we are going to do a fairly simple if statement. Alright, so I'm going to write if reversed number is equal to num. If they are equal, then you want to print it is a palindrome, else print it is not a palindrome. Alright, so this is what we want to do. So now let us run and see it if it works. Okay, enter a number 654. Okay, it is not a palindrome because reverse number is 456. Alright, so Now let us enter something that is a palindrome, and hopefully we should get that it is a palindrome. So 6556 maybe. Now do you see, again I get a message it is not a palindrome. Why is that? While 6556 is a palindrome because its reverse is same as its original. The reason is num, when it comes out of the while loop, is going to be 0. The original number we've kept on changing. Remember, we've written num is equal to num by 10, num is equal to num by 10. So at this point, num is always going to be 0. So this statement is never going to be true. So what we need to do is also create a temporary variable in which we store the original number. So I'm just going to write int original number is equal to num, because after this num itself is going to get edited or modified, right? And here I'm going to write if reverse number is equal to original number, then it is a palindrome, otherwise it's not a palindrome. And I'm going to now comment out these print statements. There are quite a few print statements. We don't need so many print statements. Alright, let us now compile it. Javac. Okay. And now let's run it. Let's actually print the reverse number at least once. The reverse is reverse number. Okay. All right. Let us. Okay. So enter a number. I want to enter a longer number, 98471. The reverse is 17489, which is correct, and it is not a palindrome. Now let me enter a fairly big palindrome, 7198817. I think it's a palindrome. No. 7198917. Alright. So this is a palindrome. The reverse is so and so, and it is a palindrome. So fairly simple. Here we've written a routine to find out, first of all, the reverse of any number. So whenever you get a program to compute the reverse of a number, here is a fairly 5-line code to do that. And moving ahead, we've also checked it with the original number to find out if it is a palindrome or not. So that's that from this programming module.